Hey, what's going on everybody? Servo here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to take a look at all the new Lore Keeper puzzle rewards that we got. Some of them are actually the best items in the game, and some of the other ones are just okay. So we're going to take a look at all of them, and I'm going to showcase them in some of the builds that I already have as well. And if you guys wouldn't mind, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate you. Alrighty guys, so if you do have Storybook Vale, we all know that there's a Lore Keeper puzzles, and they also added 10 more. So once you complete them all, it's going to take you back from the beginning. So overall, we got a ton of puzzles here. So the new one actually starts with Winnie the Pooh, and it's a 4-star. You get some rewards here. And then we got one for Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp, Snow White, Robin Hood, Alice in Wonderland, 101 Dalmatians, Coco, The Incredibles, and finally Inside Out. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Winnie the Pooh item. So we have this right here, which was one of the easier puzzle pieces. They've been giving us a strong Winnie the Pooh vibe, so I have a feeling like eventually we're going to get Winnie the Pooh added into the game. And this one was no different. They ended up giving us even more items. So during this puzzle, they gave us some more honey pots. So I have a little Winnie the Pooh area over here, and I kind of set up like it's behind another Dream Snap build. But we have these honey pots right here, but these are not the ones that we just got added with this recent update in the Lore Keeper puzzle. It's actually another style that's kind of like it. This one is the decorative honey pot. So if you complete that Lore Keeper puzzle, you will get this, which as you see, fits in very nicely with the other stacks of these other items here. So it's almost like it's a part of a set. So these honey pots were part of the premium shop bundle, and then now we have this, which is part of a DLC exclusive. So I thought that was kind of interesting that we had the ones that was like fully stacked up, and then we have these ones that are spilt over. But it goes very nicely if you already had this Winnie the Pooh stuff. Over here in my plaza, I actually have some more Winnie the Pooh stuff, so I ended up putting the pots just in the corner, just as some little filler spots. And then, of course, it leads over here to my actual Winnie the Pooh build. So, as you can see, it pairs nicely with, like, the bees. You also have the Winnie the Pooh tree. And we also got these new items right here that you actually end up getting from Aurora's Friendship Level 2 quest, which is this tree. So you could pair it up with those as well. So overall, in a build like this, I think it looks great. Up next, we actually have the Peter Pan puzzle, which is this one right here. And we just got the Peter Pan update. So I was like, I'm curious what item they were going to add. This item, it's not like it's bad. It's just nothing that's super game changing. It is just a Jolly Roger flag. And you actually use this one indoors. So these puzzles have like some of them are outdoor and some of them are indoor. But this one actually does tie together a build that I currently have. If I fast travel over here to my beach floating island, I actually have Eric's ship right here. And inside, I actually created like a whole ship vibe. So as you see, I do have some extra spaces on my wall right here. So what I could do was go ahead and get that Jolly Roger flag. And I'm going to place it in here. So you could place it anywhere you want. But as you see, it looks really good. Like it definitely ties together the whole like pirate vibes of your builds. So I guess it's a good thing to have some like indoor stuff. At first, I was like, I don't know if I really like that, but it's definitely growing on me. Now, what I wish they would have done though, is I wish it was actually a carpet, like a rug with that exact same design, the black background, the skull and everything. Maybe the size of this one right here that we ended up getting in the max bundle, or it could have been smaller as well. If they made that a rug, that would have made it so much more useful because you could still put it inside of a room and get that same feel, but you could also use it outdoor for like an outdoor pirate build or Skull Rock build or pretty much anything that you wanted to use it for. So I was a little disappointed with that, but it's still a great item. Up next, we got Lady and the Tramp, and we got a gift that, again, is not the best gift, but it's really cool if you're really into the lore of Disney. So we ended up getting this little box you can see on the first image right here. It is called the Striped Gift Box. And I guess it's the box, like the present box, that Lady actually came out in. So I think that is cute. But the item that we actually received was literally just a present. If you didn't even know, it was like tied to Lady and the Tramp, you probably wouldn't have even guessed that. So I actually have this placed over here in my love castle. And this house is still a work in progress, but I'm pretty much putting all the pink items in here. And also Dinah and Figaro are going to live in this house. This is going to be their room. We got Dinah's little wall piece right here, but I do have the present right here. So this is the reward that you get from the puzzle. So it is nice, and it's actually going to work really well for when Christmas comes around and you're doing like a Christmas dream snap and you're putting some stuff underneath the Christmas tree, and also just for decorating around Christmas time. So it is going to be nice. I just wish this item would either like be able to interact and maybe slide off the lid a little bit and then put it back on. That would have been cool. Also, if we would have got a lady like plushie, would have been the cutest thing ever as a gift for this puzzle. But they could be saving, you know, a lot of the cooler stuff whenever we do get Lady and the Tramp added into the game. So overall, it goes with the overall aesthetic of like Daisy and Dinah, and pretty much like the sleeping items, lots of pink, lots of different colors like that. So I do like it, and I do appreciate that so many of these items are like major callbacks to the actual films themselves, and that makes it more special for me. And the next item is kind of the same thing. So next we have Snow White. And this item, again, isn't like a crazy amazing. It's not like super premium, but it's another one of those items that's a major callback to the actual film itself. And I think like having it in the valley makes it such a special item as well. So I really love these like iconic pieces that are tied to the films. And the thing that we actually end up getting from this one was the Evil Queen's lockbox, and I did use this in one of my builds currently as well. So also in my plaza, which I have like my light side, my happy side, and then we have the much darker side over here. I ended up matching it up with some of Maleficent's new items, and we have these like new dark like black desk here, and also the executive like chair. So I ended up putting the lockbox right here on the table, and this is as big as it is. It does not act as storage or anything like that. You can just decorate with it. So I thought it fit in very nicely with this build that I currently have over on this side. And again, it's like one of those things, even though it's not like the greatest item, it's one thing that actually tied in my build very nicely, which was having it here on the desk. So little things like this, when you see it as a standalone piece, you think, oh, that's all we got was just a little box. I mean, heck, even I think that sometimes. But once you actually incorporate it into a build and stuff, I think it just enhances your build, and I absolutely love it now. So this is definitely a great piece as well. And I love this little corner here in case the Evil Queen ever comes to visit. Up next, we actually have Robin Hood, which I'm curious if they would ever add Robin Hood to the game, like sometime down the line. I think it would be cool. The items would definitely be interesting, especially if they added some of these side characters. Now, the item on this one was an archery target hutch, a very large item. But again, you cannot interact with this one. Now, I have not added this into a build yet. I originally was going to add it like over here with these dragons because they have a target on them as well. I was originally going to put one right here and one right here, but I didn't think it looked that great, so I ended up putting the haunted organ. But the piece that we actually have, and this could go great in like a Merida build as well, or even a Gaston build, and it's this thing right here. So the archery target hutch. Let me move this down here. And I have a Gaston build right here, which has a lot of like barrels and, you know, his little weight set and stuff like that. But it is a pretty large item. I mean, even look compared to the house, it's pretty tall. Like it's a very big item. But a Merida build would be perfect for this as well. And as you see, if you walk up here, you can't really interact with it or anything as well. So maybe you could put a mannequin over here, like a little training set, maybe even a Mulan build. It would look very good in. The backside looks pretty cool. You can actually place a couple of these very close together. So you could do this if you wanted it for like a backdrop for whatever reason. You have that. So it almost looks like a boat on the other side. So it's pretty cool. I just don't know what I'm going to use it in just yet. So I have not put it in a build. Up next, we got Alice in Wonderland. And this one's a pretty cool piece. So we actually ended up getting a door. Well, doors, but it doesn't act as an actual door. It is just a furniture piece that you can actually put indoors. So it's a pretty cool item. and it's very, very colorful, and it goes along with like a lot of the Monster Inc. items and the Alice in Wonderland items as well. So this piece, I'm a little confused if it's like broken, but if you click on it, it can only be attached to the wall. So it's an actual wall piece. You cannot put it outside, and you cannot put it just in your room. So I guess maybe they were acting like it's just a wall piece. You also cannot raise it or lower it. You can only place it like this. So it is a door. It would have been nice if you could use it kind of like this one right here, the Alice in Wonderland talking door. Or if you could change the style of this to this door, but you can't. So it is purely for decoration. And yeah, I mean, it's really colorful. It looks good, but it kind of looks like a wall divider, kind of. You know how like we have some of those other ones. I think we have something like in the Beauty and the Beast category. What's the name of that thing? Oh no, it's this thing, the elegant painted partition. I wish it was something like this so you can use to separate and decorate and also put outdoors. I understand that they're two completely different style of items, but that's what it looks like to me with it just like lined up like this. So it kind of looks like a divider. So yeah, overall, it's a pretty cool item, but I just wish I could use it like this door. And then up next, we had something I was very excited for, 101 Dalmatians. Just look at the aesthetic of, you know, anything 101 Dalmatians. So I was actually surprised that the item we ended up getting was a standing cello, so like a musical instrument. And it is one of those things that I'm like, I wonder if they're saving the really, really good stuff for a future update or DLC. Because, I mean, I just can't wait. Imagine if we get like a Dalmatian rug. I mean, I know, I love rugs, okay? And imagine if we get like her car and just some of these other items are going to be so cool. I can't wait to get an update for this, like this universe right here. So yeah, the item is one of those that had I seen it standalone, I never would have guessed it was tied to 101 Dalmatians. But let's take a look at it. I actually don't have this worked into a build just yet. So we're just going to drop it right here. And it's this thing right here, the standing cello. So if you're really into instruments and music and stuff, this may be the piece for you. I mean, you could tie it up with like a bunch of the other items we have in the game, or like some of the pianos and stuff. So it definitely has a use as well. We have a lot of different pianos. We also have the tavern piano. So as you see, the aesthetics of these two work together very nicely. Even this piano looks really good. So it is a pretty cool item. It's just, I was not expecting that. Moving on, we have my favorite new item in the game, and possibly one of the like best items in the game, period. This item is so incredible. So we actually have a Coco puzzle that got added, and they ended up giving us something called the Fall Leaves Rug. You may have seen this around because it is very trending at the moment in just builds in Dream Snaps, especially. This is gonna be this is the new fireflies, the new fireworks. You know, this is one of those new pieces you're gonna see used so often. I mean, I even ended up using it in one of this week's Dream Snap theme, which I'm actually changing my Dream Snap, but I ended up using, you can see it over here. It's a very bright item. I have it over here on the sides, and it's just incredible. And this is the item right here. Look how bright it is compared to like the other fall leaves. I actually put some of them underneath the fall leaf piles that we have. So we have these in the game already, but this is the new item, and it is incredibly bright. I don't even have a filter on or anything right now. This item, you can be placed under like so many items like this, and you can also connect them. You can you can like overlap them for the most part together. Like they're very easy to actually place together, and people have been using this to create like lava rivers with like the magma on the edges, and just for decorating. And as you see, it stands out of a build. It's very, very bright. I ended up using it right here in my plaza by my Winnie the Pooh. I kind of like act like it's honey, kind of like a honey river as well. And I really enjoy it over there. So this is one of those items I'm going to be using all over the place. So it is stunning. And then we only have two more. We have the Incredibles and Inside Out. Real quick, let's take a look at Inside Out. So Inside Out is coming out next. Like that's the next update. They actually ended up giving us Bing Bong's wagon right here, but at first I thought it was a decor piece. It is not. It is actually a glider. Let me see. Let me switch to my wardrobe. Go to gliders. And it is this piece right here, the Bing Bong glider. And look how cool this thing is. It actually has rainbows come out the backside. It looks like the pose is the exact same as when you're like floating on the magic carpet. But look at this. It is a beautiful. I am so happy. This is one of those items that to me is like the best glider in the game. I mean, it looks really amazing. I love how cheerful and colorful it is. And the fact that you can ride around in your valley in a glider that is just a wagon with rainbows is just top tier. Like what has this game become after all these years in Dreamlight Valley? I'm just so hyped to still be able to get items like this. And it's tied to such a precious moment within the film. So really, really cool. And then the last item is actually the Mirage chair. So this is from The Incredibles. It's just an office chair. This is another one of those that's really tied back to the films, but it also works good in a build as well with some of the other items, like the premium shop items, if you ended up getting those. So for this one, just to get an idea of what you could do, you could go ahead and if you have, I mean, it could be any house, but if you have like the V8 Cafe, which I have here somewhere, there it is, the V8 Cafe house. I think this would be a great house to actually do this build in. We could go inside. We could swap the floor real quick, so or like wallpaper. We could even just slap this on for now. And then we could do large gray stone tile work. I think that works out well. Now let's go down to the Incredibles because we actually have a few different items here. So we have this new like Mirage chair, but it works really well with stuff like the Edna mode sewing machine. And then we also have the Edna mode grappling hook right here. We got the Edna mode testing machine. These are all like indoor pieces, but you can put some of them outside as well. They ended up giving us the Incrediphone, which was like just recently. They gave us that in Scrooge's shop. We also have the Mr. Incredible retro suit display. So we could place that over here. You know, you could even swap up your doors and do like these little access doors right here. And it really fits the build. So again, it's one of those items that by itself, when you look at it, you're like, oh, we got a chair. But once you work it into a build, it makes the item that much more special. Anyways, that is it for the video. Please let me know down below which item is your favorite. And also which item you just feel like is got you hyped for that specific theme universe. So I know I really love the Coco rug, the fall leaf rug. I'm so excited for anything Coco coming to the game. And while the 101 Dalmatians like standing cello isn't my favorite item, it's definitely a part of a universe that I can't wait to get added to the game. So yeah, let me know down below which item was your favorite and which out of these universes are you most excited to get some upcoming content for. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.